would like to introduce you to Bianca Negron. She's based in the USA, Virginia, and Bianca is a certified coach specializing in career performance and development and is a HR consultant. And she flits between the United States and Puerto Rico. Her spouse is Alexander, who is in the US Coast Guard. And she has a lovely 11-month-old baby called Xander, who is gorgeous. And she has hobbies of reading, writing, traveling, and baking. So, and her burning desire is to share the knowledge with others on how to have a successful career. And her key to success is to be disciplined, strategic, and open-minded. So may I introduce to you Bianca, who is going to talk to us about development. Bianca, over to you.
Thank you, Ian, and thank you everyone for being here today. I want to do a quick activity. Let's see, go to your reactions, and I want you to give me a clap if you are a trainer, either if you are a freelancer, a coach, consultant in HR, and you provide training, or even in your workplace where you work, you are a trainer. I want to see how many trainers we have here. Give me a clap if you are a trainer, if you provide training. Okay. I'm checking if you're awake also. So let's see. Okay. So I see a couple of trainers here. Perfect. And now give me a heart if you like to attend trainings, if you love to go to different trainings, if you like to learn. Give me a heart on that. I do see more hearts than clapping. So I understand that's the reason that many of us are here today. So thank you for that. So let's start with cognitive diversity and why it brings a value to the career development. So I'm going to say a little bit about me. I specialize in personal branding, and this is one of the things that I'm more passionate about. Developing people and how to do it with Minds Owner has been something that I have been doing for a couple of years. I want to share with you this survey that Forbes did. And here's a little bit of an extract. And it says the ability to leverage diversity experiences, culture, and backgrounds is a strong driver of innovation and global success. And right now we're living in a world that is hyper competitive. And that means that we're all connected. Look at us. If I start here in the chat telling you just write where you're from, we're going to have a lot of people from different parts of the world. One of the things that we have in common is that we speak both maybe English, Spanish, and maybe another language. So yes, that ability of diversity is important, but something that Forbes mentioned in this survey that sometimes we do lack to take a look is a key element, which is cognitive diversity, and is understanding the difference in how people think and process information. And you might say why this is so important, or why are some of the benefits on doing this. So I want to share with you some of the benefits, and here are some of them. Some of them is versatility. So what happens with versatility? If I have a group of people who have the ability of understanding how they think, how different they think, and how this can bring them together, then especially when there's uncertain situations like we're going through with COVID, I will have individuals who would deploy with actions quicker, okay? They're going to be able to tackle these thinking styles and be able to change something. At the same time, this versatility will bring that ability of accelerating, learning, and providing a better performance. Also, some of the benefits of cognitive diversity is the culture of innovation. We all talk about innovation, but if we do not foster an environment where all the thinking styles are welcome, and we overcome also those barriers that one thinking style is best than another, then I won't be able to have that culture of innovation. So in order to have a cognitive diversity in the workplace, I need to be able to have that culture of innovation, which will help us in a world that is changing so quickly. And also, if a company wants to have success, that culture has to be there. Another benefit is the collaboration between non traditional people. And what I'm saying is that when I have the ability to understand that, for example, Ian, Jaime, Tomek, they might think differently, and I can gain something from them and I can learn something from them, then I can have a more innovation culture, and I can have a more diverse workforce. Also, as my colleagues have been mentioning, I will have better teams, better engagement. So this is just three benefits on cognitive diversity and why we need to foster this in the workplace. So what are the career development challenges that we are facing today? So I want to share with you some of them. And let's see how many of us know a little bit of these statistics. And one of them is this from Clear Company. And it says that 76% of employees are looking for career growth opportunities. So this means that if I'm working, maybe I'm looking for these career development in the company, but also if you are an employer and you're not giving these to me, maybe I'm looking for a job that can give me this career growth, or maybe I'm going to start investing on my own outside and getting these trainings. Why training and development is so important? Because it brings and it shows that the company cares for their employees and we invest in them. And also it brings them motivation, engagement, innovation, right? Inspiration to work harder. Usually whenever there's budget cuts, the first department to go through a budget cut is the trainings, right? There's no money for that. So whenever we have this type of situations, we need to pay attention if trainings are the ones that will suffer these consequences. Employee will trust the company if you invest in them. And also at the same time, if I'm working for a company that is investing in me, that will reflect in the employer brand, which basically means that the reputation that the company has out there. So many people will trust, right, for a company that they are investing in them. So it's really important to be conscious about this. Another statistic that I like is from Huffington Post, and they say that companies that invest in employee training enjoy 24% higher profit margins than companies who don't. Is have that investment in higher profits because their employees are going to be engaged. So we need to pay attention in how we can foster this. What can we do to provide the right training? And this is something that I will talk a little bit more in the presentation. Another statistic is from Huffington Post, and they say that 40% employees who receive poor job training, they will leave the position with. So this is really crucial because usually that honeymoon phase between, let's say, 3 months, 4 or 5 months, if you're not providing immediate training or you're not investing in them, what's going to happen? They're going to leave. And if they leave, they're going to leave a bad reputation of the company. And what can we do about that? Well, I will say that cognitive diversity and helping those employees, collaborators understand themselves and how they can grow within the company is crucial to work on that. Another statistic from Go to HR says that every workplace that has a high trained employee can exceed 100% of their set. So I know that Ian was talking about recruitment and right retention. In order to retain these employees, we need to be able to give them the opportunity to learn about them and be able to provide training that is not a cookie cutter, one size fits all. Because if that happens, they're not going to be engaged, and we're not going to have high profit margins, and we're going to that reputation in the market. So, what are the challenges we're facing nowadays in the workplace in terms of trainings, in terms of recruitment, in terms of retention, in terms of growth? Usually, in many companies, what they have is a one size fits all training program. As soon as the person come in, let's say they sometimes I have clients that they buy in bulk trainings. They have a software, people will go there and complete trainings. Sometimes it's just a check in the box, right? I did this that I needed to get a training. I did this. But sometimes they're just filling out that box and not intentionally getting a training that will help them grow within the company. Another challenge we're facing is that there's many different generations in the workplace. So that means that not everyone is going to be engaged in the same trainings with the same topics. That means that not everyone will have the same skills or abilities. And we need to pay attention to this because maybe the company is losing money. They're sending people to different events, conferences, and trainings when maybe they don't like those type of topics, or they don't need it, or they don't know that they need them. And at the beginning, we were talking about that you can't control what you can measure. With Minds Owner, we can measure the mindset of that person in that context, right? When they're working, and that can help us understand what type of training they might need in order to perform better in the organization. Another is people get motivated in ways. People have different thinking styles. Pay close attention, which is cognitive diversity. It will trainings that are more tailored and teach them to work better in the workplace. Another one is the VUCA world, and Jaime mentioned a little bit of this. And currently, we are living in a world that is full of volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. What you learn today, maybe in 2, 3 weeks, or in a month, it's going to change. So we need to understand that in terms of training, we're going to be working, let's say, with a long-term training plan that it might change constantly because of all the changes we're facing in the world. But this is the question. We might know that as an employer, as an HR consultant, as a coach, but does our client, our employee understand that? In many ways, sometimes they do not. They just think they're sending me again to this other workshop and I don't want to go and I don't see the importance on this. So it's really important to start understanding how they get motivated and how they think in order to address this better and save some money. At the same time, as I mentioned, challenges we're facing in recruitment, retention, and budget. If you don't allow or you don't provide alternatives for people to grow, well, to grow in the organization, what's going to happen? They are going to leave the organization, and you're losing money, and you're also committing your reputation as an employer. So that's why we need to know our employees. We need to understand how they get motivated, how they think differently, in order to set them not for failure, to success in the organization. And the other one is leadership. And I think leadership in cognitive diversity is crucial. Why? Because sometimes we do say that we foster and we're open to diversity, and sometimes we do not act like that. What does that mean? That leaders should be able to start asking themselves different questions, such as what are the challenges that we need to solve? What are the capabilities, experiences, and backgrounds that I need to train my people with, or I need to recruit my people with? What are the challenges that we're going to be experimenting in the future? So leadership right now that we need is the one that is willing to truly rethink everything. It's not set in stone. It's not because I said so. It's a leadership that does not believe in because we have done it this way. So leadership is crucial in cognitive diversity because they are the ones who are going to incentive that employees do think differently and that we can do things differently. And they're going to respect the different thinking styles of others and value what they're going to bring in the organization. I have seen many companies where they say, we foster and we are welcoming innovation. But as soon you have employees who are looking to innovate, they close the door. Why? Because things are going to be different. So you know what's going to happen? That employee is going to leave the company because you're not allowing them to use your knowledge within the organization. In other terms, you're losing money, you're losing talent because there are also people that are already in the organization and they want to contribute. So leadership is a key aspect to be focusing on. So the question is, hey, all these things sounds great, but what can we do about it? How can I bring cognitive diversity within the organization, and how I can create different programs that can help our employees, right? To foster that type of thinking. So I'm going to share with you some of the things that we can do. So the first step will be that first year. I don't know if you remember the statistic that in the first year, if they don't get the training, the people will leave. So that first year is key. But this is the thing, I cannot measure with mind sonar, for example, if a person have not been in that position for a long term. So my recommendation is that as soon as a person comes within the organization, I need to work with that training based on position needs. I need to understand, right? What are the skills that they need in order to perform in that year, get them acclimated, give them the tools they need, the mentoring they need in order for them to understand that job in that first year and feel that we are giving them something. We are providing that training for them to develop and grow within the organization. The second step will be the second year, okay? My recommendation will be to complete a mind sonar profile by the next year. Why? Because they already have that mindset of already working in that position. The context can be when I'm working and we can define more specifically that position. That will be really interesting to see in that test. And then the third part will be to evaluate that mind sonar profile in terms of motivators. And before I continue, this is the question, who will be doing this? Many companies, they will outsource the training. So that will be a trained mind sonar professional can create this type of program and provide it to the companies, right, their clients. But if there's a company that have a training program, there could be someone who is permanently dedicated to provide career coaching for their employees. I have seen it in many companies. The only thing that I have seen is that they do a one size fits all. Everybody does the same trainings, they attend the same trainings, and sometimes the person, right, the employee doesn't feel like there's something tailored for them that they can grow depending on what is their expectation within the company. The difference with what I'm presenting is that there will be someone who will be specifically working with this person to allow them and provide them guidance in order to grow within the organization. So whenever they complete the mind sonar profile, we're going to evaluate, the first thing is the motivators. And this is an example. In the part of the motivators, I'm going to be focusing on the motivators. And in this case, we see that this person is motivated by power, order, and together. That means that this person, if I'm going to be creating a career plan, they are motivated in being recognized within the organization. They're being motivated in terms of discipline, duty, predictability, and they also value togetherness, social consensus. So this is a person that wants to grow and be part of the organization, but there's a way in how to do it and they want to be recognized. So an interesting part of this motivator of this person is here. They have zero in winning in competition. So why do I say it's interesting? Because if I'm working in the career planning of this person, that person is not valuing the aspect of achievements, results, success, progress. They're just seeing themselves as how it can be seen in the organization. And in order to be seen and to have recognition and have a good reputation, I also have to bring results to the organization. Why do I mention this? Because sometimes we want to attend certain trainings or we want to grow within the company, but I'm not paying attention of what are the advantages that I have in terms of my values and what are the disadvantages that I also have in terms of my values. The fourth part will be to evaluate the mind owner profile in terms of thinking styles. Why thinking styles are so important, because this is the way that I can help them tailor that training program. And I'll share with you some of them. I'm not going to explain it all, but here I'm going to share with you towards and away from. Usually, this allows us to understand what the person is focusing on. Okay. And basically, when I see someone that is towards, that means that they're goal oriented. Okay. They know where what they want to accomplish, but maybe they're not focusing on what they want to avoid. So whenever I develop trainings, they might say, I want this training. This is the one that I need. But maybe they're not focusing how maybe another training will bring them value to the organization in order to have a better recognition or reputation. Another example is options and procedures. This person is high in options. That means that every training that is out there, they will want to go. That means that maybe every conference they see, they're going to raise their hands for you to take, have some budget and send them. So this is the thing. They see different possibilities. They will come with different ideas. Maybe they will learn everything, but sometimes they might have a lack of tendency of acting with all of that knowledge, right? They have time management, sometimes situation problems. So with a person high in options, what I need to allow them in terms of training is, yes, provide them the opportunity to see different options in trainings, but also the ability in how I'm going to use that knowledge and put it into practice in the organization in order to get results, what procedures they can create. Because if not, you're losing money. You're sending all of these people to training and all that knowledge will just stay there. The third one is internal locus of control. So this person believes to be an influence or determined in certain situations. So basically, this is a person that I need to watch in the career planning because they will feel that they are responsible for everything. So I need to help in order to grow, right, within the organization. There's different steps. There's different ways to do it. And that not everything happens because of him or her. So they don't have to take it, right, like everything is my responsibility. Also, if it's leader, I need to help them to learn how to delegate. So I need to train them on delegation. And also, if this is a leader, I need to help them understand the value of succession planning and talent pipeline. And the last one I want to share is maintenance development change. This person is high in development, which means that this person is going to value or they will need change to happen gradually. And this is the person that I will need to talk to my career planning for them to understand that we are living in a VUCA world, which change and development are higher than maintenance. That there are certain things that, yes, they have to maintain a certain way, but they need to understand that changes are going to come quickly. And I need to help them understand how to be flexible and adapt to new ecosystem, new environment, new, let's say, technology. So this is just an example of the thinking styles that I will take a look in a career coaching plan, individualized. And the fifth one will be evaluate the job description with the mind owner profile. We need to do this, okay? We need to see the sixth one, right? The sixth step, how to create that gap analysis based on that job description, based on the knowledge, skills, and abilities that that person needs to have in that position. And the seventh step will be to develop a career coaching plan based on the needs and motivators. And my invitation is that whenever we're creating a custom made, individualized career coaching plan, just don't think about the present, think about the future, okay? In terms of this career coaching plan, it can help with talent pipeline, with succession planning, because it's a way to start developing the future where we're going to. And one of the tricks in these is we're not going to create more people alike. We need that diversity, and MindSonar allow us to do that. So I want to finish with this phrase of Dr. Seuss, and it says, "Why fit in when you were born to stand out?" My guess is that everyone in the organization wants to stand out. Not in the same way, not in the same way, but all of them want to contribute. The question is, what are we doing to understand how they want to stand out? Usually, we just think that everyone will have the same training and everyone will be able to stand out in the same way. So I hope that this presentation gives you a little bit of more idea on how we can work career planning with MindSonar. I want to thank you, and there we go, Ian.
So thank you, Bianca. Could everybody just put their hands together for Bianca? That was a fantastic presentation. Really enjoyed that.
Thank you.
MySonar es una herramienta psicológica basada 100% en Internet, creada por el Dr. Jack Hollander, respaldada por el Instituto de Psicología Ecléctica de Holanda y utilizada mundialmente por profesionales de recursos humanos, reclutadores y coaches, tanto a nivel individual como corporativo. Si deseas saber más sobre MySonar, te invitamos a visitar www.mysonar.ca.